Imagine standing at the edge of your dreams, staring into the void of uncertainty. That fear you feel, that doubt, that tiny voice telling you, maybe I'm not enough, that is the pain you ignore. And yet, most people spend their entire lives running from it. But here's the truth. This very pain, the moments of rejection, the failures that haunt you, and the nights when you feel utterly invisible, this is the crucible in which your future is forged. Take Jack Ma, for example, a man who was rejected countless times, over 10 universities, dozens of jobs, even by KFC, and yet he didn't crumble. Every no he received became a lesson. Every closed door became a stepping stone. He faced humiliation, financial uncertainty, and the crushing weight of doubt from friends and society. Yet, he chose not to ignore the pain, but to confront it. Because he understood something few do. The discomfort, the struggle, the relentless adversity, it isn't your enemy. It is the raw material of your destiny. Think about your own life. How many times have you ignored your pain? How many opportunities to grow have you missed because facing your own fears felt too heavy? Life will not hand you lessons wrapped in comfort. It delivers them in the form of struggle, rejection, and heartbreak. And if you ignore them, if you brush them aside in search of instant comfort, you are trading your future for a moment of ease. But if you learn to lean into the pain, to extract wisdom from it, to let it guide your actions, then you are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of your life. Pain is not punishment, it is preparation. And what Jack Ma teaches us is that the moments when you feel weakest, most lost, or most invisible, that is when your future is quietly forming. The pain you feel today is the soil from which your greatness will grow, but only if you decide to face it. Let's talk about challenges, the kind that strip you of confidence and force you to question your very existence. Jack Ma experienced a world where doors closed before he could even knock. He wasn't the smartest student in class, he didn't have the perfect resume, and he didn't have influential connections. Yet, he learned a critical truth. Life does not owe you fairness. It doesn't reward talent alone. It rewards persistence, resilience, and an unwavering refusal to quit. Every time you fail, it isn't evidence that you're incapable. It's evidence that you are alive, that you dared to step forward, and that the world has lessons for you. Jack Ma once said, "If you don't give up, you still have a chance." Giving up is the greatest failure. That is a simple sentence, but its weight is unimaginable. You may be facing rejection at work, heartbreak in relationships, or the suffocating pressure of expectations. But these are not signs that you should quit. They're signals that growth is happening. The pain you ignore today becomes the chains that hold you back tomorrow. Life is never a straight path. It is messy, unpredictable, and often cruel. Yet, it is also profoundly beautiful. Every setback, every failure, every moment of despair is teaching you something invaluable. Patience, humility, vision, and perseverance. The challenge isn't avoiding pain, it's learning how to transform it. Jack Ma learned to embrace his failures, to dissect them, and to use them as fuel. And this is where most people falter. They fail to see that rejection is a teacher, not a judge. Your failures are not permanent, but your attitude toward them determines your destiny. So, how do we take pain, failure, and rejection and turn them into stepping stones? How do we build a mindset strong enough to face adversity head-on? First, embrace discomfort. Stop running from challenges that make you feel small. Jack Ma spent years outside his comfort zone, constantly putting himself in situations where failure was guaranteed. And that is the secret. If you never fail, you never grow. Second, cultivate relentless persistence. Setbacks will come. Doors will close. People will doubt you. But the moment you consider quitting, remind yourself of this. Every great achievement is preceded by countless moments of struggle. Jack Ma didn't build Alibaba overnight. He endured ridicule, financial crises, and the skepticism of everyone around him. And every time, he chose to persist. Third, focus on what you can control. You cannot dictate the world's response, but you can control your actions, your discipline, and your attitude. Pain will come. It is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Transform your mindset from victimhood to ownership. Learn from mistakes, adjust, and move forward with purpose. Fourth, cultivate vision beyond the present. Pain is often unbearable because we are trapped in the moment, focused on immediate discomfort. Jack Ma always saw beyond today. He imagined a future where his failures were merely stepping stones towards something bigger. When your vision exceeds your fears, your courage grows. Finally, surround yourself with belief, not doubt. The people around you shape the narrative you tell yourself. Jack Ma sought mentors, supportive friends, and a team that believed in the impossible. They amplified his courage and helped him convert pain into action. You too must curate your environment so that your pain becomes productive, not paralyzing. Now, listen closely. Your future is waiting. And it is waiting in the very place you fear to look, within your pain, your failures, and your doubts. Do not ignore it. The struggles you face today are not detours. They're the path itself. The pain you ignore becomes the regrets you carry. The lessons you embrace become the victories you celebrate. Jack Ma teaches us that life will test you, push you, and sometimes break you, but it also gives you the opportunity to rise stronger than ever. The world may reject you, laugh at you, or underestimate you. But if you refuse to quit, if you face your challenges, and if you turn every failure into fuel, you will transform your life in ways you cannot yet imagine. So today, I ask you to take a deep breath, confront your pain, and ask yourself one question. Am I willing to let this discomfort shape me, or will I let it define me? Stand tall, persist relentlessly, and embrace every challenge. Your pain is not a curse. It is your blueprint, your mentor, and your guide to a future only you can create. Rise, act, and never, ever ignore the pain that whispers in your heart. Because the moment you face it, that very pain will become your greatest strength, your most valuable teacher, and the key to a life of purpose, fulfillment, and unstoppable success.